Well, Bill is with me from Bread of Stone. Hi, Bill.
Hi. How are you?
Let me see if that's working fine.
Yep.
We might move you to this one here.
Let's do that.
Let's do that, because that is spacey, scary, weird stuff going on with that microphone there. Let's see how this one is. Okay, take two. How's it going, Bill?
It's going good.
That's better.
Going?
We're going to have the engineer come check that out. You ladies couldn't hear that, but it was spooky. Wasn't it spooky?
Yeah, it was feeding back and doing crazy things.
You sounded like you were from outer space or something.
I could be.
Well, actually, you are the guitarist for Bread of Stone.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to PowerFM. It's good to have you here.
Good. Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me and my wife and my sisters here, too, so that's cool.
Yeah, they are. It's good to have them here. So just tell us about the band. It's you and your brother, so did y'all have a bunch of bands growing up, and how did it eventually become Bread of Stone?
Okay, so our family, we didn't come from a musical family, so this is really interesting because,
it is.
Yeah, our family owns a trucking company, I guess, and in 99, we were eating dinner together, and my dad said, "Hey, I think the Lord wants you boys to start a music ministry."
Wow.
And we were like, does music means we got to play something. So we didn't come from a musical family. None of us played. And so we were like, well, if you feel that way, then we need to do it. And so we started taking lessons. And I took guitar lessons. My brother took piano lessons. And we tried to make it work. We tried to get people from, local in Sioux City, Iowa, and joined us to sing, because we were like, we can't sing. This is not our thing. We have no idea. And well, long story short, just all that didn't work out. Mm-hmm. And in 2004, that's when we started Bread of Stone. So around 2003, 2004, we finally just said, God wants us, my brother and I, to start this thing. He's not looking for us to go find other people. He's not so we just said, let's do it. And that's why we call ourselves Bread of Stone, is because we believe that we're stones, inadequate to the call, So if we can be a blessing to people, it's definitely not us. If we can be a bread to somebody, that's definitely not us. And has to be the Lord's work, because we are not even ready to take this challenge. We didn't even know that this whole world exists, of Christian music and all that stuff. We just listened to it, but hadn't put the thought of hey, we could do this as a ministry.
Mm-hmm. Well, man, that is really a great and different story, because a lot of times the parents are like, you want to be a musician? Come on, get a real job, get an education. And here's your dad saying, hey, I think you two boys need to start a band.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and when he said music ministry, honestly, what came to mind to my brother and I is maybe serve as a worship pastor or something at a church. Uh-huh. So that's why we were trying to do stuff locally. And that's why you can't put God in a box.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Because, I just got this picture now about how sometimes God has something for us, and we kind of hear part of that, and we try and do it. Like David was going to fight the giant.
Right.
And so Saul says, use my armor.
Yeah.
And he tries to get the armor and do it, because we think as humans that it has to be done such a certain way.
That's right.
That's kind of like you guys. You thought, we're going to be worship ministers.
Right.
And God's like, I didn't say that.
Yeah, right. And I think, at the time, if we were thinking this is what it's going to be, and all the stuff that we would get our hands into, and all the troubles and all the, I don't know that we would do it. I think if we understood the scale of the magnitude of what God wanted, I don't think we would do it. But since we didn't understand, we're just going to bunch it. I don't know. Just two kids that are two brothers that are okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
We're going to play with cars or guitars. We had no idea that it would be this. So.
Well, that's very cool. If you just tuned in, Bill from Bread of Stone is with us. He is the guitar player. So let's talk about the single that we've been playing. And I love it, because I think in Christianity, the longer we're in it sometimes, the more, how would I say that? It's like we become too sophisticated.
That's right.
We're in it for so long, and we get sophisticated, and we're like, oh, I want to get deep into the Word, and we're all proud of how deep we are, and are proud of our knowledge of the Word. And we forget just, what Jesus says, the greatest of these is love.
That's right.
Love, man. That's just the basis of it all.
Yeah.
That, God so loved the world, he sent his only begotten son. And that,
Right.
you know, Jesus so loved his brothers that he laid his life down, you know,
That's
no
right.
greater love than this. So I love the title of the song, Love Changed Everything, because that's such a powerful statement. You
Right,
know,
right.
I, Eddie, I'm a dying man, but love changed everything.
That's right.
You know, my friend's an ex-alcoholic, or was an alcoholic, but love changed everything.
That's
So
right.
that's just really the bottom line. So tell us the thought of the song, and do you do the writing with your brother as well, or?
Yes, but not on this song.
Got to be honest.
You're right. No, so my brother wrote the song and another writer, but when we're so involved. My brother and I are so involved in every aspect. So we record our own music. I'm the recording engineer, the mixing engineer. He writes, you know, and all this stuff. So we kind of work together there. But the thing that I like about the song is, for me, that speaks to me is, even though a lot of people think of their struggles as in like before they met Christ,
Mm-hmm.
and then after, like God changed everything in their life. But also the part that I like about this is sometimes we make it complicated, like you're saying. Even knowing God, we would like walk this road that we think, yeah, hey, I got this. I know how this works. And you go down this trail that you think you're doing something, you think you're advancing, but you're just putting yourself in a hole, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you forget, like, wait a minute, this is not what it's about. What it's about is love, you know? And a lot of times, you know, for guys like us on the road, for example, we think we're doing this ministry, right? And then we get caught up in the ministry instead of why we're doing the ministry.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I think
what you mean.
and so I think if it goes back to, hey, what it's about is love. And that's why we do this. It's because God first loved us, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And now we're like, okay, how do I feel your love now. How do I get back to you with this? Only with love. You know, if he laid down his life, then he's like, all right, what do you have for me? My life, you know? And so that's what the song talks about.
All right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the explanation. Let's go ahead and hear that song. Love Changed Everything. This is Bread of Stone on Power FM. That is Bread of Stone on 89.7 Power FM. Love Changed Everything. And this is really fun because Bill is in studio with us. He is the guitarist of Bread of Stone.
Hey.
Welcome back again, brother. Good to have you.
Thanks for having us.
Man, now, so you are here without just you. The band's not playing or anything.
Yeah.
And I found out because you're working.
Yeah.
You're a working man. And people always wonder, well, so what do the bands do? How do they survive? You know, if you're like, Martin Smith from Delirious and you write songs,
Yeah.
he makes a lot of money. Everybody
Right.
sings the songs all over the world and he's making royalties. But a lot of our bands, they have to go home and,
Right.
Get jobs seasonal.
Right.
So, you're working, and tell us what you do, because
Yeah.
I think it's kind of unusual.
Well, so here's a little bit of background for us. We, like I said, we didn't come from a musical family, and our family owns a trucking company.
Mhm.
And that's how it's, so before all this, I was a grease monkey turning wrenches, at the shop. And, but God just makes a way. And, with the trucking company, I think one thing that's awesome is if we go on tour, we have a bunch of trucks to go on tour with, but,
Right.
So what's cool is,
And these are not box trucks.
No, we're
This
talking
is
about
not like the
semi-trucks.
big,
Yeah,
like a UPS
18-wheelers.
truck. Because when I first heard from y'all, are doing a truck, it's like this is a big honking,
semi,
long,
18-wheelers. So,
It's like Smokey and the Bandit kind of thing.
Right. Well, for what's awesome is God has blessed us with Bread of Stone. We've been around for 11 years, and we do that full time actually, and so we're doing fine. But my brother and I also started a production company, and that's what we're here for. We got some gear that people wanted us to sell, and I know I said some gear, but it's a truckload full of audio, video, lighting equipment.
Okay.
So we have a couple days off, and my brother said, "You want to go get this gear from Dallas?" Okay. So now I'm here and getting some gear and hopefully driving it back tonight.
Okay, so how long have you been driving an 18-wheeler yourself, though? Because you have to go to get the license and all that kind of stuff, right? What kind of license are you supposed to have?
A Class A CDL. So I've been driving since I was 18, and so I've been in trucking world since I was 12. So I know the ins and outs.
So, as a kid, I snuck out in mom's car.
Yeah.
With underage, not supposed to drive.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I'm admitting this to all the listeners on the air right now, but I did. That was something I did. So did you ever sneak out with one of the big rigs? Just 12-year-old out there hoping the cop doesn't see you?
No.
You did, didn't you? He's busted. Grant Nana is listening too.
Yeah, I know. For all the DOT that's listening, please don't pull us over.
Well, I'm just impressed that you can drive a big truck like that, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's a cool thing. I think it's a cool, really, all the whole time from 12 till God called us to this ministry, being that it's your own business. Mm-hmm. So you are the janitor. You write the check. You do all. If it's your own family business, you do everything. Mm-hmm. When your employee's like, "Hey, it's time to check out," you're like, "Well, it's not done, so you got to stay." And I think that in a way that taught us, got us ready for this ministry, this music ministry. Because it's all about serving. Now your focus isn't, the money, or getting yourself some money. Mm-hmm. The focus is, hey, we got to do what we need to do, and we got to get it done.
So none of this. Oh, it's 5 o'clock. I'm done for the day.
I'm done for
It's your baby. You got to continue to take care of it.
That's right, and I think that's my dad has taught us growing up. He said, "Look, you do everything that's in front of you to the best of your ability. Don't wait on the next person, do everything what God has put in front of you as if this is what God has for you, because it is what God has for you. Even though it's something that you're like, I'm turning wrenches. This is God's will for you right now. This is a ministry right now. Even though you're like changing an oil in a semi or changing an oil in a car, this is your ministry. And growing up with that puts us in perspective for what, got us ready for this ministry. And really, honestly, since music wasn't the first thing, it wasn't like we were in a basement since we were 5 years old, like trying to play the guitar or whatever. Our focus has always been the ministry. We're just using the music as a vehicle to bring people to the Lord. So
it's powerful though what you just said about no matter what you're doing, whatever is in front of you, you just do it the best you can.
Yeah.
And it's kind of wild because just Monday during this time slot, I just felt led to say, we all have dreams. I was talking to friends and they tell me about their dreams of what God is leading them to do. And I'm like, don't live for that, when I get to that point one day in the future, that no matter what you do now, it could be 10 inches. We tend to, as humans, we think, oh, not until I accomplish blank am I really serving God.
That's right.
And what you just said, you can be turning wrenches, you can be a teacher at a school, you can work in a hospital. It doesn't matter. You don't have to wait to that day that you're serving God.
Yeah.
It's today.
It is.
We have today. One day at a time, sweet Jesus.
That's right.
And whatever you're doing. So I just feel like, that's confirmation from the Lord. I shared that on Monday, and here you are saying, just whatever it is, man, do it with your whole heart.
That's right. That's right. And I think and that's what serving's about. Serving is, because I think a lot of people look around and go, hey, what is God's will for me? Especially younger kids, high school, that's around that age, growing up, and my dad always made it like, what is God's will? This is God's will for you. I remember when we got the calling about doing this music ministry, my brother counted the days, that we would be at the shop and everything. Look, Dad, this all adds up to 3 to 4 months out of the year. Maybe we should just focus on this, and we could be so far more ahead on the ministry side, on the music ministry side, if we just focus solely on this. And my dad said, well, I don't know what to tell you, but this is what God has for us right now. So you do have to turn the wrenches and do that. And, this is what we have right now. So we just got to do what we have. And because God put it here for a reason. Because if God didn't want us to do this, he wouldn't put it in front of us. Mm-hmm. And so from that time on, we were like, you know what? We just do everything and go all in all the things that we do, So yeah, that's
That's
kind
a
of our
word.
attitude.
That's a great word for our listeners and for myself today, Bill. Thank you so much if you just tuned in. Bill from Bread of Stone giving us the word today. And, man, I tell you, when I see the 18-wheelers, I don't know why it is, but I always feel like I want to let them in. I want to let them get over because it's like, how do you drive that big thing? And at least in North Texas here, when you put a blinker on, people think that means I need to speed up and not let you in.
That's right.
So that's what people do to me if I'm in my truck, my little Ford pickup truck.
Yeah.
So when I see the big 18-wheelers, I try and make a point to let them get over because
Well,
I'm like,
thank
man,
you.
if I were in there, that would be so frustrating.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
So if you see a big rig that says Bread of Stone on it, I'm telling you, you better be polite. Let my buddy Bill in when he needs to change lanes. Okay? He's got Brittany with him. Do it for Brittany and not for him because she's a sweet woman. So it's cool. Hey, real quickly, we're going to play another song, but tell our listeners how they can follow you on the internet and social media and stuff.
We're on all the social media, so Facebook, Twitter. I mean, my wife's telling me right now of all the stuff that we're in.
She's a behind-the-scenes
She's like,
producer.
Hey, no, tell them this, tell them that. But anyway, if they go to any of that and search Bread of Stone, they'll find us anywhere. Even MySpace. I don't even know if that still exists, but
Right.
but and breadofstone.com, you can find all the links there too.
That's
so that's
great.
easy.
All right, well, let's do one more song, and this is All In.
All in.
Did you have a part in this one?
Yes.
Okay, good. We have one that you helped write.
This one is really cool. Actually, you know Jonathan Tooling?
No, I don't.
Okay. He's another artist, Christian artist. And so it was the three of us, my brother and I and Jonathan Tooling. And actually his brother was there too. So the two brothers. We got 4 people and sitting down. We were early in the morning. It was one of the first thing that we did. We were like, we're going to write. I remember Jonathan saying, what are we going to write about? And my brother and I said, about us. And he goes, what are you talking about? Well, basically about what we just talked about earlier. What my dad was saying, do everything to the best of your ability.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother's like, we need to talk about us, like how when we do something, we need to go all the way. So we had the title All In before we even wrote it. We're like, we need to go all in. And that's what we want to kind of talk about. And it kind of is a little bit of a story, our story, Bread of Stone, and how we got started. And so, in a nutshell, this is our song.
Okay. Very cool.
Our theme song, All In.
Okay. Well, Bill, thank you for coming in today. Here it is, Bread of Stone, All In on 89.7 Power FM.